Hi friends, in this video we are going to learn the most important element in drawing, that is scales. So in this video we will go ahead with what is a scale and what is its importance, and also we will learn what is representative factor, and remaining elements will comes in further videos. So what is a scale? Most of the times we can able to remember scale is an instrument which is used to measure the distances. So it is used for measurement. Okay, the scale is going to be useful for measuring any of the element. For example, consider this particular element. So you are already familiar with this one. So India map. Now here, can you able to say what is the distance between Delhi to the Hyderabad? So this is the point Delhi for this, and this is Hyderabad. So if you use the scale, for example, so this is the scale, sir. And how much is the distance we obtained from Delhi to Hyderabad? So here we got it as approximately 7.4 centimeters. We got it as 7.4 centimeters. Is the distance between Delhi and Hyderabad is 7.4 centimeters only? No, sir. It will be in around 1000 or 1000 odd. Then why it is wrong? Correct. So here, whatever the diagram we are representing here, it is not the actual size. We are reduced this one for so many times. Then we got the diagram like this. So to measure this particular diagram, the scale which we are using here is not sufficient. This scale is not going to be sufficient for this. Then what I have to do? So we need a scale which is able to measure, or which can able to read this particular drawing. So how it is, sir? Let us consider another picture here. So here if you observe, the same India map will have the scale here. So here if you observe this particular part, this is nothing but scale. So here with the help of this scale I can able to measure the distance between Delhi to Hyderabad, for example. So I am going to show with the help of a line here. I am drawing for measuring the aerial distance. I am drawing the line. So this is the part for Delhi, and Hyderabad is around here. Therefore this is the length from Delhi to Hyderabad. Sir, how much we have this? So for that, what I am going to do is, this is the length. So most of the times with the help of divider I can able to do it, but in this case what I have to do? So for example, in order to have a clear picture of it, I am taking this particular line out. Means this is the distance from Delhi to Hyderabad. Now how I have to measure this? So for example, here if you observe in the scale, this is the length measuring 400 meters. So this length is related to 400 meters. So from this point, we are going to mark this. This is 400, but still it is not reached. So from here again I am cutting the arc. This is again 400, totally 800 it is over. And still if I draw the arc here, we got it. But if you zoom this one a little bit more than this, it is there. A little bit more than this, it is there. So what will happen? So this particular length is 400, equivalent is 400, this is 400, it is little bit more. So it should be more than 1200 kilometers. So the distance between Delhi and Hyderabad is more than 1200 kilometer. This is aerial distance. It is not the road. It is the aerial distance between Delhi and Hyderabad. So how we can able to do this particular calculations? Because I have the scale. We have the scale here. With the help of this scale, we can able to measure it. So what is the in this chapter we have to know how to construct this scale. That one you have to remember, and to construct this what information we require, that is also we should know. And one more thing is, at the end I will give, here they mentioned some scales, which type of scale it is. This one also I will give whenever we entered into types of scale. So now we got some clarity. What is that? What is a scale? Scale is a measuring instrument which is used to read the drawings or make the drawings. Which is used to read the drawings as well as make the drawings. So it is used for construction of the drawings and also it is used for reading the drawings. Okay sir, which type of things it is? So normal scale is not going to be useful when the size of the object is very huge, which is not going to fit into a drawing sheet. For example, just now we observe, so India map is not possible to fit into a A4 sheet. So that's why we are reduced this dimension. So whenever it is a large object, whenever it is a huge or large object is present, then what I have to do? We have to reduce the dimensions. So we can able to observe this one in many cases, maps, machine parts, and majority of your pictures which we are observing in the sheets are going to be reduced in size. So all are reduced in size? No. We are already come across in +2 or elementary standard what it is. So if you observe the structure of a electrons and protons in an atom, so it is a proton, surrounds to this, it is s orbit, p, d, f orbit. So actually the size of this particular atom molecular structure is going to be this much? No sir. What we did here, we are enlarged. Whenever the size of the object is very small, which is in micro in nature, then in order to observe it, we are going to magnify this element. So in this case it is called enlarged object. So whenever the object size is not going to be fit into a drawing sheet, then we can able to either reduce the dimensions of the object to represent it on the drawing sheet, or we can able to enlarge the size of the object to show clearly to the observer. So that's why here may be reduced one or enlarged one. So once if it is a reduced or enlarged, each and every element should be equal proportion. So for example, if I have a object like this, if it is 10 meters, this is 3 meters. In this case, sir, instead of drawing like this, if I draw like this, it is not going to be good in nature, because proportions we are not maintaining. Here the proportions are there. If it is 10 means almost it is going to be 3. But here we are not measuring such information. So each and every dimension should be in proportionate to the remaining elements. That's why we have to use a scale which is useful for construction of the drawing. So because normal scale is not going to be used, Then how to construct it? So in order to know how to construct the scale, normally we observe here, this is one type of scale. In order to construct the scale, what information we require, that we will learn now. So the first and foremost information what we require is representative factor. Representative factor, which is also considered as scale factor, simply termed as scale. So what is the representative factor and what is the relation between representative factor and drawing sheet size and object size? So a representative factor is the ratio of distances. Which distances? Drawing length to the actual length. So representative factor is the ratio of drawing length to the actual length. This is the formula. Now, so this is the formula for representative factor. Now for example, take an example of this. For example, a 2 meters long object represents or shown as 5 centimeters in a drawing. 5 centimeters in a drawing. Then what is the representative factor for this particular question? So here two things we have to remember. What are they? 2 meters, what it is, this is the actual length, and 5 centimeters is the drawing length. So if you have these two information, we can able to know what is the representative factor. RF is equal to drawing length by actual length. Drawing length is 5 centimeters, actual length is 2 meters, but we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So centimeter will get cancelled, and 5 ones are 5 20s are. Therefore we can able to write it as 1 divided by 40. So we'll represent RF is equal to 1:40. 1:40. This is the way how we have to find out the representative factor for the given information, because a building of 2 meters or a room of 2 meters length or breadth is shown as 5 centimeters in the picture. 5 centimeters in the picture. Then the representative factor for this is going to be 1:40. Good. But let us consider another situation. Sir, I have 25 meter square area, means 5 meters by 5 meters area is there with me in some particular location, and a area of 25 meters square area is shown as 49 centimeter square, or otherwise 4 centimeter square on the map. On the map, how much it was represented? On the map, it is represents as 4 centimeter square. So some drawing is there. Let us consider it is a area I am mentioning of my building. The plot, different elements. Let us consider it is some room room area is 525 meters square area. Room is shown as, even you can able to observe building plans which was given by the various real estate people. So it is represents in the diagram. If you measure that, it is 4 centimeters square area. Then how to find out? How to find out the representative factor for this? Means how many times it is reduced or it is enlarged? How should I know? So with the help of this, can I write representative factor is equal to drawing area divided by actual area. So most of the people, if they are not aware of it, they will use like this: 4 centimeters square divided by 25 meter square. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters whole square. So therefore I can able to write it as 100 into 100 into centimeter square. These two will get cancelled. 2 2s are 2 50s are 2 1s are 2 50s are. So 25 5 5s are 25. 25 into 25, 165. What is 2? 625 means 62,500 they will write it. But this calculation is wrong. This calculation is wrong. Why, sir? Why it is this calculation is wrong? Remember, my dear friends, remember, so representative factor is the ratio of lengths only. So, but once the areas are given, then how we have to complete that? Very simple. We have to take the equivalent length. So once the area is meter square, so it is in meter square. How we can able to get equivalent in meters? Very simple. If you take a square root of it, we can able to get the meter. So therefore, once the areas are given, then what is the formula we are going to use? Square root of drawing area divided by actual area. So this is the another formula for representative factor. This is another formula for representative factor. So how we can able to find out the representative factor? In this case, representative factor, areas are given, therefore square root of drawing area divided by actual area. So what is the drawing area? So here this particular length is nothing but drawing area, and 25 meters square is actual area. So drawing area is 4 centimeters square divided by 25 meters square. So how much it is? So square root of 4 is 2. Centimeter square under root is centimeter divided by 25 square root is 5. Meter square under root is meter. But we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters. So we can able to cancel centimeter. Whenever you are finding out the representative factor, first we have to bring them to a same unit, cancel the units, then only we can able to get the numeric. Now here how much value we are going to get? 2 1s are 2 50s are 2 50s are. Therefore representative factor is equal to 1 is to 250. 50 into 5, 250. So this is the representative factor for the given information. Good. Sir, this is okay. But if you observe majority of the some of the films, in order to explain their views, they are going to consider some pictures. So we have to thankful to the Bahubali team. In that we can able to learn so many things, either it is in Bahubali 1 or 2. I hope you are already familiar with this diagram. This one you are already familiar. Majority are observed this. What it is here? What it is represented here? So here, if you observe, this is the model they placed. Otherwise, I will zoom it to get able to get some more clarity. So this is the model. and this is the actual object. So here it is showing this is a model, and this one is actual. The actual object is also called prototype. Prototype. Sir, here whatever the model it is showing, it is not having the length, it is not having the area, it is the volume, it is a solid blocks. So it is having the volume. Not only this, you can able to take one more picture from the same. So here you can able to get the some more clarity. So now here if you observe, my dear friends, this particular wheel, all of you carefully observe, this particular wheel is almost less than the palm length. If you observe, almost palm length, but here if you observe, here it is a person is standing, but this length is more than his height. So here whatever we are consider, it is a similar to cylinder with having less breadth. So here it is having more in dimension, it is having more in dimension. Again you observe here, so here this particular object size is very small, and this volume as compared with this very less. How you can able to say, sir? Here if you observe the person, it is almost the height of this person, but here if you observe, this height is almost the palm length of the person, or it may be of half of the or 2 times palm. So here if you observe, the object size is increased, but it is not length, but not area, but it is a volume. Solid will have the volume. Then how we can able to know? For example, volumes are given, volume of the object and volume in the model. So let us consider a room of 64 meter cube, a room of volume 64 meter cube volume, shown as 8 centimeter cube volume in a object, volume in a model, Then how to find out the representative factor? You are already familiar now. I hope you know what is the representative factor. Once the volumes are given, we need the equivalent. Here meter cube is there. So in order to get the meter, we have to make it as cube root of drawing volume divided by actual volume. Sir, this one appears in majority of the textbooks, but actual thing is we have to represent it as not drawing, it is considered as model volume. Model means it is a scaled object. Model is nothing but scaled object. In the previous one you observe, in order to explain how it is working, he used some model to deliberate what is the functionality of it. Similarly here also, how it can able to run, he was explained with the help of a model. It is a prototype. Okay, therefore model volume by prototype volume. So in the first year stage, this particular subject is there. At that stage, the people are not familiar with model and prototype. That's why in majority of the textbooks, they represent it as a drawing volume divided by actual volume. So there is no much difference between these two. But strictly speaking, it is represented as a model volume divided by prototype volume. So for this particular problem, how we can able to get it? RF is equal to cube root of drawing volume by actual volume. That is equal to cube root of 60 drawing volume. So here if you observe, 8 centimeter cube is a model, that is nothing but drawing value. 64 meter cube is the actual volume. So now we can able to write drawing volume is 8 centimeter cube divided by 64 meter cube. So 8 square cube root is 2, centimeter cube root is centimeter, 64 cube root is 4, here it is going to be meter. Now here 2 ones are 2 twos are, but we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So for this problem RF we are going to get it as 1:200. So these are the different formulas we are going to use for construction of the scale. So what are the three formulas we have for this particular representative factor? Just I am going to make them in a single page here. One is drawing volume divided by actual volume. What is the another formula? Another one is once the areas are given, we have to use drawing area divided by actual area. Similarly, once the lengths are given, we have to use drawing length by actual length. So these are the three formulas we are going to use for finding out the representative factor. One second. So I am writing that I am going to mention all these in a single place. So here representative factor is equal to, this is missing while copying, this was missed. So drawing length by actual length, or drawing area by actual area, and drawing volume by actual volume. So here based on the representative factor we can able to divide the scales into three things. What are the classification of scales with respect to representative factor? Type of scales, types of scales with respect to representative factor. So another classification is also there, the scales depending upon their accuracy, how much precision it has. The scales are divided into few more categories that we will discuss in the next video. So here based on the representative factor, how we can able to decide? So we know that representative factor is the ratio of two elements, numerator and denominator, whenever if x is less than y, x is less than y, what it is called? Means numerator is a smaller quantity, denominator is a larger quantity. Means numerator drawing one is a small dimension, actual is large dimension. So this larger element we are reducing it. That's why whenever x is less than y, then it is called reduced scale. Reduced scale. So what is an example for this? 1:20, 7:55, because no need to be 1. Sometimes we can able to bring to a stage where we can't able to further make the divisions. 7:55 or 1:7,500, like this, so on. This is related to the reduced scale. Sir, what about the second case? If x is equal to y, then how much length of the object is there? The same length we are mentioning in the drawing, then it is called full size scale or full length scale. So for this ratio is 1:1. Normally whenever it is a full scale, there is no need to mention the scale information at the below the drawing. Whenever it is a reduced, definitely we have to write scale is equal to so and so, or RF is equal to so and so. But once it is a full length scale, actual dimensions you are taking, there is no need to write the information regarding the scale. Sir, what about the third one? This is considered whenever x is greater than y, means drawing size will be more than the actual size. Whenever we want to explain the nature microstructure of a particular material, grain structure of a material, then we are going to use this particular case. So here actual size is small, drawing size is large. So here what happened, we are enlarging the dimensions, so it is called enlarged scale. Enlarged scale. So for these, how it is going to be, 10:1, 25:1, 255:7, like this. So numerator will be large in size, denominator should be small. This is considered as enlarged scale. So these are the different scales we can able to come across in with respect to the drawing objects information and actual object information, that is with respect to the representative factor. And remaining elements like how to find out the length of the scale and what type of scale we have to use, that is plane scale or diagonal scale or vernier scale or comparative scale or when a scale of curves. All these information we learn in the coming videos.